Without any further delays, let us begin with our proceedings. So for the first speaker, we have TCB Silakui, Ms. Yishichirela, speaking for the motion.
I quote, "Life is about living and not about competitions." I unquote. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson, honorable judges, my worthy opponents, guests of honor, dear teachers and friends on the floor. Today, I stand before you to speak strongly in favor of the motion, which states that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of the students. Is there anyone in this majestic hall doesn't know the story of the hare and the tortoise? Everyone does, right? Well, it's a game of race where the competitors strive to win. But sadly, only one wins. So here the hare loses, leaving the race devastated. This is just one example among many. I believe that the one who loses faces extreme embarrassment and will never step forward for the further participations. Rather, it diminishes his confidence. And on the other hand, the winners face difficulties standing on everyone's hope. And since there will be always someone better than the winner, then one day the expectations will be shattered and disappointment will engulf him. My worthy opponents, do you still argue that competition in schools helps in the holistic growth of the students? What is a school after all? Isn't it a loving place where we make memories? Memories of carefree life, friends, fun, playful learning, and a world full of love and care, showered by loving staff members. So why to spoil our school life in such a stressed atmosphere of competitions? In such an environment, the holistic growth is never paid any heed. I strongly believe that competition is blind, just as love is. You're so single-mindedly obsessed in just winning that you transcend your basic human values. You get embedded with three poisonous emotions of jealousy, ignorance, and attachment, thus bringing suffering to your opponents. Does it implant me versus them mentality? Therefore, competition in schools does more harm than good. Did you notice that we seem to reach a point where everything we do in daily life have to take place in a contest of a struggle where one must lose? Competition so far has taken the lives of 1.64 lakh people, out of which 40% of them are just students. Lastly, I would like to conclude here by strongly stating that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of the students' social skills, self-esteem, and mental growth. Therefore, I loudly advocate that the concept of competitions in schools be completely eradicated from the root of the educational system once and forever. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon the podium SCS Masuri Dawasingla.
So my question is competition hampers this holistic growth of student? Then why competition is still going on in every school in the world?
Thank you for the brilliant question. Well, I didn't say that we are not, participating in competitions. I said that competition is bad. So, I think that the school authorities are trying to, decrease competition in our daily school lives. For example, this meeting, before it used to be inter-school literary and cultural competition. Now it is changed into inter-school literary and cultural meet because school, the school knows that competition harms the students' growth. And now it is being changed. Though I didn't say that it's not when it is, we are not competing, we are. But if you notice carefully, it is slowly reducing. And I'm certain that it will one day vanish from it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawsringla. For the second rebuttal, let me call upon THS Rajput, Tenzin Chenzumla.
Good afternoon. My question for you is, schools like Harvard or Cambridge are one of the best in the world, yet they are known to be notoriously competitive. How?
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure. My question for you is, schools like Harvard or Cambridge are known to be one of the best in the world, yet they are known to be notoriously competitive. How?
I appreciate your question. Everybody has different perspective. For me, competition is not good. And, all the school systems are not same. But I think that it will one day, vanish from the schools. And it depends on the school authorities. And we all know that how much stress and pressure competition gives on students. For example, we all are students. We want to get selected in the best schools in the world, don't we? Yes, right? And, participating, getting selected in those schools are also competitions. What if you tried your best and then you're not able to, get selected in there? What happens? When you're not able to achieve your goal, you don't think of the process, the hard works you spend on it. Those process and hard works are just shattered in 1 second when you heard that you're not selected or when you're not able to achieve your goals. So this is my answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that being said, I'd like to ask Mrs. Tenzin Chenzumla of Rajput to kindly stay on the podium and begin with their against motion.
Good afternoon, esteemed judges, honored guests, fellow debaters, and dear friends. Today I stand before you on this podium to oppose the motion that states competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of students. It is my firm belief that competition acts as a catalyst for personal development, fostering a well-rounded education and character building. Competition is inherent to human nature, and schools are the perfect training ground for students to learn valuable life skills through healthy rivalry. Firstly, competition motivates students to excel in their studies. When students strive to outperform their peers, they naturally engage in deeper learning, research, and critical thinking. This encourages academic growth, enhances knowledge retention, and prepares them for the challenges of the real world. A study done by neurologists like Zimmerman and Wenzel in 2003 show how competition is correlated to learning. Secondly, competition extends beyond academics. Extracurricular activities like sports, arts, debates thrive on competition. Just imagine a scenario where a school organizes a science fair competition. Students are encouraged to experiment, research, and present their findings. This competition promotes a healthy spirit of curiosity and innovation among students, contributing positively to their holistic growth. Furthermore, competition fosters ambition and the drive to set and achieve goals. We all know Mr. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft Software, who correctly pointed out that competition teaches him big lessons. It drives him to be the best he can be. I quote, "Whether it's Google or Apple or free software, we've got some fantastic competitors that keep us on our toes." I unquote. Moreover, critics tend to argue that competition can lead to undue stress and pressure on students. While this concern may be valid, responsibility lies in striking a balance and ensuring that the competitive environment is supportive and nurturing. Andrew Whitworth said, "If you're a true warrior, competition does not scare you, it makes you better." I still have ample points to put forth, but due to time limitations, I shall wind up here emphasizing that competition in schools is not a hindrance, but rather an essential element of a student's holistic development. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon THF Gauri Mafi Sunam Hamala.
Hello, my question for you is that as a Buddhism, according to Buddhism philosophy, competition is not encouraged at all. So are you still going to keep propagating that competition is good?
Please repeat the question.
As a Buddhism, according to the Buddhism philosophy, competition is not encouraged at all. So are you still going to keep propagating that competition is good?
Thank you for your question. I think that just because your religion forces you to not do something logical, you're not going to do it.
Thank you.
For the second round, let me call upon SGS Masuri Tenzin Sebullah.
Hi, Tenzin Shizumla. My question for you is, you said that competition motivates the students, but what about the thousands of students who get demotivated only because of the competition? So what would you like to say about this?
I would like to say that I really sympathize with those students who are not taught by their uneducated parents what competition really stands for. There's a saying, in a competition, winning or losing does not matter. If you've done your best, tried it your hardest, you've already won. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please debate.
The biggest competition is myself. I'm not looking to follow others or pull them down. I'm planning to test my own boundaries. Honorable guest of honor, impartial judges, respected teachers, and the students on the floor. Today I, Tenzin Sebel, representing Estes Masuri, stand before you to express my view in favor of today's debate topic. I strongly believe that competition in school hampers the holistic growth of the students, and therefore I have classified my topic into 4 points. First, competition can make children disappointed. Not every student who enters the competition would win. Some students may get hurt very badly by a less than a perfect result. So when they don't win, they might seem to lose confidence. Second, competition can lead to a less participations. If competition doesn't give all kids a goal that they can reach, then the activity becomes unbalanced, with some kids getting ahead and some falling behind. This kind of competition will surely cause stress and make children less interested in doing similar things. An unhealthy competition might be the one where the main goal is to win instead of learning something new or working as a team. These are the kinds of competition you might want to think twice about using in your classroom. Third, competition can make children feel inferior. A child's self-esteem can sometimes be hurt in a competitive environment. If they start to feel like they're not capable enough as comparing with their competitors, and they feel like their hard work isn't being noticed, would definitely pull their confidence level down and will not able to rise even in a small society. Fourth, according to the Basic Education Policy and NEP 2020 of India, competition and reward system in school is considered to be a bad influence in students' life, and therefore it is excluded. So why do you think could be the reasons behind this? The reasons are it puts unnecessary pressures and controls the student's mind rather than making them think freely. Instead of encouraging students to do better, it promotes the ill behaviors like enmity, jealousy, and eventually unhealthy environment among the students. Lastly, I would like to conclude my speech through an example. Competition only forces students to do something and it doesn't educate them. Well, all of you must have watched a popular Bollywood movie named Three Idiots. In that movie, Amir Khan said, if we force the animals to do something in the circus, they will do whatever they are taught. But they are called well-trained, not well-educated. If competition is that important, then today's program title would have been Inter-School Cultural Competition instead of Inter-School Cultural Meet. Thank you.
Very well said. For the cross-questioning, I would like to call upon Tenzin Rekche of THS Tikoling.
Hi, Miss. My question is, your speech argues for the reduction of competition in schools, but how does it relate to the competitive nature of many careers and industries in the real world?
Can you please repeat the question?
My question is, your speech argues for the reduction of competition in schools, but how does this relate to the competitive nature of many careers and industries in the real world?
Okay, thank you for your question. My speech are related in school, of course, because the topic is competition in school hampers the holistic growth of the students.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now for the next round of cross-questioning, I'd like to call upon Pema Tenzin of THS Missouri.
With the permission of the chairpersons and the respected jury, my question to you is, isn't competition a natural and necessary part of life? And by sheltering students from competition in schools, are we not depriving them of valuable life skills?
Could you please repeat?
Okay. So, isn't competition a natural and necessary part of life? And by sheltering them, students, from competition in schools, are we not depriving them of valuable life lessons in life?
Okay, thank you for your question. I was talking that competition in school hampers the holistic growth of the students. Can you please?
Okay. Isn't competition a natural and necessary part of life? And by sheltering students from competitions in schools, are we not depriving them of valuable life lessons?
Okay, thank you. Competition is competition is a part of life, and it is like in school now competition has been already excluded because you said that after the school we need to use to get off the competition, because after school we get to compete, no? So in school competition is not only the way to know that, and competition is not only the way, like there are many ways that we can know and we can learn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin Sebula, for your wonderful orator skills. Now to share his insight upon the topic, we have THF Missouri's Pema Tenzila.
Hello. As we reflect on the words of the great Albert Einstein, a ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it's built for. And let me remind you that today my opponents may sound smart with all of their arguments coated with honey, but as there is a German saying which says, a monkey draped in silk is still a monkey. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable members of the jury, respected teachers, and my worthy opponents, today I firmly argue against the motion that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of students. While there may be concerns surrounding competition, it is essential to recognize that competition, when managed properly, can indeed promote holistic growth. Firstly, competition encourages students to set and achieve goals, which is a valuable asset for their personal development. And as Earl Nightingale once said, people with goals succeed because they know where they are going. Competing with others or against oneself motivates students to strive for excellence in academics, sports, and other areas of life. This drive to achieve goals is a fundamental life skill that serves them well beyond school. Moreover, competition can also be a source of inspiration. When students witness their peers' achievements, it can motivate them to push their own limits and explore their potential. As Ralph Waldo Emerson aptly said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And also, additionally, competition fosters a spirit of innovations and creativity. In a competitive setting, students are encouraged to think critically and come up with innovative solutions to problems. For example, in science competitions, students often devise groundbreaking experiments and inventions that contribute to the advancement of the society. Moreover, competition can lead to valuable character development. When students face competition, they also learn to handle success and failure gracefully. For instance, in sports, they experience the highs of victory and the lows of defeat. These experiences instill resilience, sportsmanship, and the ability to cope with adversity. Furthermore, competition teaches students the importance of time management and discipline. In a competitive setting, students are learning to prioritize tasks, manage their time efficiently, and work diligently towards their objectives. These skills are essential not only for academic success, but also for personal and professional growth. So, in conclusion, competition in schools, when managed properly, can indeed promote holistic growth. It encourages goal setting, teaches time management and discipline, develops character, inspires individuals to reach their full potential and explore their potential, and also stimulates their innovations and creativity. It is the responsibility of parents and educators to create a supportive and balanced competitive environment where students can thrive. And at last, as Ralph Waldo Emerson aptly said, "Our chief want in life is somebody who shall make us do what we can." So, and just to let you know, today my opponents will try or may have already tried to convince the audience that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of students. But in my perspective, what I think is competition instills in students the habit of striving for excellence, which is a valuable asset for their holistic growth and future success. Thank you.
Now, for the first round of cross-questioning, I'd like to call upon THS Dekeling Snom Hamola.
Good afternoon, elder brother. So, I have heard in your speech that you were repeating the word motivate. So, are you suggesting an idea to our friends and our fellow opponents that motivation, students can get motivation only through competition?
Thank you for the question, and I understand your perspective, but what I said is competition motivates. I didn't say competition can only motivate students. I never said that only competition can motivate students. There are many people who motivate us, such as parents, friends, and other people. So I never said that competition only motivates students.
For the second round of rebuttal, I'd like to call upon Snom Hamo teachers Gore Mafi.
Good afternoon, Pematenzi. My question for you is that according to the National Crime Records Bureau, that in India, 13,000 students committed suicide in 2021 due to the competition. What you are going to say about this?
Okay, thank you for the question. And that may be true that some students may suicide after getting their results or because of competition, but that is a rare case. That may be from 100%, it can be like 10%. So we should not focus on that small 10%. We should focus on the 90%. of the advantages of competitions, such as I have already mentioned in my speech. So thank you.
Thank you.
Snom Namalap, kindly remain on the podium. The next speaker is Snom Namalap from THF Gorimaphi.
I have always heard and believed that school is a temple of learning. And in this temple of learning, how can I overthrow someone just to please my soul and try to conquest over others? As our leader, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama always advises. And I would like to state one of His Holiness' most famous quote. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if we can help them, at least don't hurt them. A very warm good afternoon to all the respective panel of judges, honorable guests, staff members, students, and my fellow participants who are here with me on the stage today. I, Snam Hamo, on behalf of Tibetan Homeschool Gorimaphi, would like to speak for the motion on today's topic, which says, competition in school hampers the holistic growth of students. And yes, I will be definitely providing some rational and actual facts so that I can move the core of my fellow opponents and make them join with me by the end of my debate script. My first point is that competition is destructive and toxic. Education is an essential part of our life, and schools are the primary institution for providing education to the student. However, the current education system has put a lot of pressure to the student to achieve good grades, which has resulted in addition to extracurricular activities in the school, letting students to compete against one another. According to an American author, Alfie Kohn, there is no such thing as healthy competition. In a competitive culture, a child is told that it is enough to be good. He must trump over others. But the more he competes, the more he needs to compete to feel good about himself. But winning doesn't build character. It just lets child glow temporarily. In addition to that, whenever there's a competition, there's always a winner and loser. Not everyone can win the contest. If one child wins, another cannot. Some students have privilege of attending private tutoring sessions, while others can afford such facilities. In order to compete against one another, in parents group also, they send their kids to different tuition centers, not to mention the tuition center standards, and in doing so, stress, anxiety, self-low esteem, pressure keep building up in student mind, and it may hamper the holistic growth of student. Furthermore, in order to prove oneself better and win the competition, the person who is trying to win the competition may use every means, including the cheating strategies, hurting the sentiments of others. We shouldn't have prevailing in a place which is considered holy from the start. And here is my last and final striking blow during this debate, and we need in favor of my motion. Do you know, according to the National Crime Records Bureau, that in India, 12,500 students committed suicide due to the competitive exam pressure in 2020? Anybody? The number went up 500 more in 2021, making it 13,000 students committed suicide due to the competition and co-curricular activities. Not to mention the drift it creates among friends group, the jealousy, anger, hatred, and all the sorts of negativity it accumulates, something we shouldn't have exist in such education institution. Due to this time, I'm going to end my debate here. Kim Chess once said, and I would like to quote, "Life is not about competition, it is about helping and inspiring others so we can each reach our potential." I unquote. One world, one dream. Free Tibet! Thank you.
So for the first round of cross-questioning, let me call upon THS Rajpur Tenzin Shinzomla.
Good afternoon. My question for you is, why do you think the Indian government or the American government spend crores worth of money for competitive exams like the boards and the SATs if it really did hamper the holistic growth of students?
All the people on earth have different types of thinking. Maybe those people who keep wasting their money on competition are those who think that competition is good. But there's tons of people who think that competition is not good at all. So that's why.
Thank you.
For the second round, let me call upon Tenzin Rexilla for SCS Herbapur.
So my question for you is, without competition, with competition we develop the skills needed to navigate these challenges successfully, such as basic things just like resilience and teamwork. So without competition, how we will achieve the things in a smaller age?
Competition is not only the way to develop or improve ourselves. We can compare our previous self that we were at the past.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tenzin Rexella, kindly stay on the podium, please. So next speaker is Tenzin Rexella from STS Harborpur. Kindly shed some light on today's debate with your opinion, please.
Tashi Dilek, and good morning to distinguished guests, esteemed judges, learned teachers, fellow debaters, and students. Today I, Tenzin Rexel, scholar of Class 8 from STS Harborpur, feels extremely privileged to be a part on this event. I stand against the motion that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of students. I anticipate that my words may convince you about the necessity of competition in schools. So here it begins. Let me begin by posing a few questions to think over. Have you ever wondered why some students do great in academically while others struggles to keep it up? What motivates us to work harder and achieve greater heights? These questions highlight the significance of competition in schools. It ignites a fire within us, pushing us to discover our potential and reach new heights. Competition fosters motivation and ambition among students. It encourages us to go beyond our comfort zones and reach our full potential. Allow me to share with you an insightful quote that shed light on the importance of competition. A renowned personality and a queen of talk, Oprah Winfrey said, and I quote, "In a competitive environment, we learn how to handle both success and failure gracefully." The quote emphasized how competition drives progress, fuels passion, and teaches us valuable life lessons such as perseverance and resilience. Moreover, in a competitive environment, we learn how to set high standards for ourselves and work hard to achieve them. Furthermore, competition teaches us how to collaborate with others effectively. We also learn how to communicate, compromise, and support one another towards a common goal. Besides, competition prepares us for the real world, where competition exists in every aspect of life, be it college admissions or job interviews. By experiencing healthy competition, we develop the skills needed to navigate the challenges successfully. In conclusion, I firmly believe that competition is necessary in schools because it motivates students to excel academically and personally. It instills important life skills such as perseverance and teamwork while preparing us for the future challenges outside the school environment. Let us embrace competition as a tool for growth and development, pushing ourselves to new heights and supporting our fellow students along the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tenzin Rexel. For the first rebuttal, may I call upon Tenzin Seppel from STS Missouri.
Hi, Yuxilla. My question for you is, you said that competition competition gives motivation, right? And for example, if you look into the census, there are thousands of people who has committed suicide, and 90% of them are students. And the only reason is competition. So what would you like to say about this?
It is a rare case. In that case, our counselors, motivators, parents should support us to make an environment where we can share our problems to our teachers. Thank you for your question.
Second rebuttal will be asked by Sunam Lhamo of THS Digiling.
Hello, Tenzin Rexella.
Hello.
I'll tell you something. Due to excess of competition in exams in school, several organizations and the Rajasthani government recently launched a campaign called Darwaza Pe Dastak, where the hostel wardens
and messed up, and tiffin services are being urged to look out for the earliest indications of depression among students and are advised to install anti-suicide nets in the balconies and lobby areas. So, you are saying that competition is that much beneficial for the students, then why are they taking all these steps?
So I mentioned in the first answer that our counselors and motivators should motivate us to make an environment where we should share our problems to our teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Ms. Namlhamo from THS Digiling speaking for the motion.
What is the purpose of education? Good afternoon, jury members, my dear opponents, faculty members, and audience. I am Snam Lamo of Tibetan Homeschool Digiling, stand before you today for the motion that is competition in school hampers the holistic growth of students. And I say yes. Let me tell you why. Competition is one of the things that will pursue us from the moment we are born till the moment we pass away. The sense of needing to win and beat those around us typically starts early. Since our childhood, we have witnessed our parents starting to compare us with the kid next door. Look at Doma-san Tenzin. He always wins in every competition. Did you see his marks? Why can't you be like him? We have heard this word from various sources, either from our parents, neighbors, aunts, uncles, and even our friends. Over time, our education system has evolved into a complex competitive game involving grades and prizes. We're rewarded and praised when we do well in tests and exams. Those who come top in class are given awards in assembly. But there's no reward from simply doing the work or applying newly acquired knowledge. All that's important is the mark they're getting in the end. Such competitions reduce the joy of learning among students. Competition is everywhere, but is it really a good thing? Is it something we should be installing in our children? Is competition really healthy in school? That's my question for you. This question is for the masses. In this world, why is everybody so obsessed with competition, whereas the pursuit of victory often defines a success? While competitions can sometimes spark motivation and determination, it frequently places unnecessary stress on individuals and self-doubt. Studies have shown that due to excess of competitions, students fail to achieve success under pressure. As a result, some of these students commit suicide. According to the National Crime Records Bureau, between 2017 to 2021, there was a 32% increase in the number of student suicide. The number was 9,905 in 2017. It later rose up to 13,000 in 2021. 13,000 students have committed suicide, my friend. Who's responsible for all of this? Parents? Teachers? Society? Or our educational system? I'm asking this question to you all. Why are you putting so much emphasis on your rival, which causes you to lose your own individuality and respect? Many expert groups have conducted research and case studies not only in school levels, but also at colleges and universities that demonstrate how competition affects the mental health and overall growth of students. Julie Posselt states in their case study that 25% of college students had mental illness diagnosis or were receiving treatment for it in 2015. Considering all of this, numerous schools, institutions, university, and or even in new Indian educational policy has taken good measures to lessen the students' competitiveness. The best example I can give you is our own basic education policy for Tibetan in exile does not believe that competition is the best way for children to flourish. The last thing I would like to say in my speech is that a flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. Similarly, each child is unique. They do not need to compete with one another in order to grow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Now for the first question, we have Tenzin Siten from THF Gurumafi.
First of all, hello my dear opponent. And my question is that competition amongst different countries have enabled themselves to improve their countries on technology, economic structures, infrastructures, and have also created some sense of development in them. So, are you still going to say that competition is not good at all?
Well, first of all, yes, I am going to say that. And if you take an example for medicine, during early COVID time in 2019, when there was COVID-19, did the scientists and the researchers really think about, competing with that other infirmary over there, we have to make a vaccine before them? No, they were cooperating with each other in order to find the vaccine. They were not competing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, second rebuttal, we have TCV Select with Tenzin Gendun.
Hello, my worthy opponent.
Hello.
So my question is to you that protecting students from competition, how will they prepare for the competitive nature of the adult world? We can erase the competitive nature in schools, but it would be hard to erase that in the entire adult world.
Well, they don't really need competition to get motivated and to be prepared. You can use other factors such as self-motivation. They can motivate themselves. They don't need really others' opinions. Or if they needed others' opinions, they could also be cooperating with each other. Or they will have personal growth. Take an example, if there was a girl called Kunga, and then she was solving maths questions, and then she was solving them, understanding the concept, then she would be like, I know maths, I'm getting good at it. Then she would be gradually very confident, and she would be prepared for the other world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, we have Tenzin Gentun from TCV Select, who is speaking against the motion.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected Chairperson, my worthy opponents, honorable judges, guests of honor, teachers, and my dear friends on the floor. Today, I stand before you as a Tibetan, someone deeply committed to the holistic growth of students. And I confidently argue against the motion which claims that competitions in school hampers the holistic growth of students. In Tibet, where our culture emphasizes wisdom, compassion, and resilience, we believe that competition can serve as a valuable tool for nurturing these qualities. Competition fosters a spirit of healthy rivalry, pushing students to achieve their utmost potential. They inspire excellence, teach discipline, and prepare students for the challenges they will face in life. First and foremost, competition encourages academic excellence. They motivate students to study diligently, pushing their boundaries to attain knowledge and skills that they might not have otherwise pursued. Through academic competition, students can explore their areas of interest, whether it's mathematics, science, or even literature, and develop a deeper understanding of the subjects they love. Furthermore, competition teaches invaluable life skills such as time management, teamwork, and perseverance. When students engage in group activities like debate competitions, sports events, or in a cultural festival, they learn the importance of collaboration and coordination. These skills are essential for the success in the real world, where teamwork and adaptability are highly valued. We say the path to enlightenment is filled with challenges. In a way, life itself is a competition. It is essential that students experience this while they are still in the nurturing environment of a school. They must learn to rise above challenges, embrace competition, and grow holistically at the process. I urge you to consider the broader perspective. Competitions in schools, when managed in a balanced and a healthy way, can serve as stepping stones for students' holistic development. They prepare students for the challenges they will encounter in the real world, fostering wisdom, compassion, and resilience. As in a famous saying, in order to carry a positive action, we must develop here a positive vision. So let us all together envision a world where school competitions are seen as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. Let us continue to encourage our students to reach their highest potential through competition, for it is through these experiences that they become well-grounded individuals. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. The first question to Tinzi Gyundila will be asked by Tinzi Ingsel of STS Hubbardpur.
First of all, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So my question for you is, because of intense competition, there are many cases of suicides and consuming drugs. So what will you say about it? Thank you.
So we cannot blame that all on competition. It has nothing to do with competition. It has to do with a person's resilience. If a person who lacks resilience, faces defeat or anything like that, it, affects negatively on him. If a person who doesn't lack resilience faces defeat in a competition, takes it as a positive effect and look back at his mistakes and then, try to develop his mistakes and try to win at the next time. Who knows, maybe he will win.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. The second rebuttal will be asked by Tenzin Nivedan of THS Rajpur.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gyundila. So my question for you is, the basic education policy for Tibetans in exile 2005 does not encourage competition and comparison. Do you think their policy is ineffective?
First of all, I appreciate your question. So speaking of the Department of Education's new policy, I do agree that they don't have any mistakes, but still, competition is much needed for children's development of essential skills. And I hope that Department of Education is aware of this, that protecting students from competition will just harm them actually because of the competitive nature of the adulthood. We can also see here that at right this place we can see a competitive atmosphere is currently developing here. Even in the sound of clapping we can hear. So
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tenzin Gyundila. For the next speaker, we have THS Rajpur Tenzin Vedinla speaking for the motion.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected judges, my worthy opponents, faculty members, and audience. I, Tenzin Vetan of Tibetan Homeschool Rajpur, hereby stand for the motion which states competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of students. And if I have your permission, I would like to begin by saying schools that encourage competition don't realize that for every people that thrives on competition, there is at least one other, and usually many more that don't. For every child that's praised for doing well, there's another that isn't. For every child and teenager who wins at a sport or a school test or some other form of competition, there's a whole classroom's worth that does not. Excessive competition often places undue stress on students. The relentless pursuit of academic success and the fear of falling behind can lead to anxiety, burnout, and mental health issues. This constant pressure may stifle a student's creativity, curiosity, and ability to enjoy learning for its intrinsic value. Therefore, the Department of Education CTA has this time also given clear instructions to organize this meet as pure presentation rather than competition. Competition can foster a narrow focus on grades and test scores, sidelining other crucial aspects of education. When students are primarily driven by the desire to outperform their peers, they may neglect developing essential life skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and empathy. These skills are fundamental for a well-rounded holistic education. Furthermore, intense competition can create an unhealthy environment where students are more concerned about outstanding others than cooperating and collaborating. Education should encourage teamwork, communication, and social skills, which are vital for the success in the real world. According to the National Union of Teachers, NUT, in 2013, warns that the single biggest challenge to collaboration is the government's marketized approach to education, which is resulting in greater competition rather than collaboration between schools. In conclusion, while competition can motivate students to excel, it must be balanced with a focus on holistic growth. Schools should provide an environment that promotes well-rounded holistic development, including mental and emotional well-being, critical thinking, creativity, and social skills. By striking this balance, we can ensure that our students not only succeed academically, but also grow into well-rounded individuals prepared for the challenges of the future. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon THF Masuri's Pema Tenzila.
With the permission of the chairpersons and the respected jury members. Hello, my opponent. So my question to you is, it's a very genuine question. So, do you believe that completely eliminating competition from school environments is a practical solution? What about situations when competition is an important part of life? So should we avoid all of these practical solutions and growth entirely?
Could you please repeat the question?
Do you believe that completely eliminating competition from school environments is a practical solution? What about situations when competition is a practical solution and a valuable skill of life? So, should we avoid all of these chances of growth entirely?
Could you please again?
Okay, sure. Do you believe that completely eliminating competition from school environments is a practical solution? Are we not, let me explain it to you. When in competition, if we remove competition completely, are we not preparing students for their future growth?
Thank you for the question. While competition has its advantages, we should look into the disadvantages of the competition. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the next round, let me call upon STS Masuri Tawasringla.
First of all, good afternoon. So you just said that competition hampers the holistic growth of student life. So my question for you is, if there will not be competition, then how will we know which level we are on, and how will we know our strength and weakness?
Could you please repeat the question again?
If competition hampers the holistic growth of student life, then how will we know which level we are on, and how will we know our strength and weakness?
Please repeat again.
If competition hampers the holistic growth of students' life, then how will we know which level we are on? And how will we know our strength and weakness without competition?
We can also know our strengths and weakness without competition, like taking some tests or some other kind of things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin Vedanla. Now for the next speaker, we have Dawa Singla from STS Missouri speaking against the motion.
I quote, competition is the best form of motivation. I repeat, competition is the best form of motivation. I unquote. A warm Tashidele to everyone present here. Honorable Chief Guests, respected judges, teachers, and my fellow brothers and sisters sitting in the String Drama Auditorium. I am Dawat Sring representing STS Missouri, standing before you to speak against the motion. Competition in school hampers the holistic growth of students. Competition is one of the most important aspects of student development, whether it be in academics, sports, or extracurricular activities. The element of competition plays a critical role in shaping a student's personality. And I would like to prove this with my 3 remarkable points. Firstly, competition promotes goal setting and motivation. When students compete, they set goals that are specific, time-bound, and measurable. For example, in a sports competition, students are driven to improve their stamina, technique, and skills to perform better. In academics, students who participate in competitive exams are motivated to study harder and revise more, which ultimately helps them to do better. Thus, competition helps to build a sense of accomplishment and self-esteem. Secondly, competition instills important life skills. Students who compete would learn valuable social and emotional skills such as teamwork, communication, and resilience. In a competition, students are encouraged to interact with their peers, exchange ideas, and resolve conflicts. Moreover, competition exposes students to unexpected challenges and failures, which can help them develop resilience and adaptability to cope with different situations. Lastly, competition helps to foster creativity and innovation. When students compete, they are encouraged to think creatively and come up with innovative solutions to problems. So I would like to conclude my speech by saying that competition is an essential in the development of students' life. It promotes goal setting, motivation, develop important life skills, encourage creativity and innovation, and provides an outstanding platform. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon Tesivi Selaguis Yishichudinla.
Can intense competition in schools lead to a lack of character building, values, and ethics, especially on social and moral development of students?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Can intense competition in schools lead to a lack of character building, ethics, and values, especially on moral and social development of students?
Thank you for your question. Firstly, competition gives equal opportunity to all the students who participate to prove themselves the best. But it is completely up to them whether they choose to put efforts and give their best. So it is completely up to their own mindset and willpower.
Thank you.
The next rebuttal, I would like to call upon THS Missouri's Tenzin Norzumla.
With the permission of the chairperson and the jury members, Mr. Speaker, my question to you is, during competition, some students feel so stressed that they have to take pills just to fall asleep. So tell me, how is this going to contribute to a child's holistic growth when it instead hampers their creativity, physical and emotional well-being? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Firstly, competition doesn't only means to defeat other participants and you be the winner. Competition is to give yourself an opportunity to be the better version of you. It makes you better than what you were yesterday. And taking part in competition is a victory for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawat Singla. The next speaker is Tenzin Norzum of THF Mussoorie. Please enlighten us with your view of today's debate topic. Thank you.
To echo the sentiments of the great Albert Einstein, education is what remains after what one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Education should not be solely about achieving high scores or winning competition, but about instilling a lifelong love for learning, personal growth, and development of compassionate and ethical being. With that, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, teachers, and my worthy opponent, I am honored to present the case in favor of the motion that competition in school hampers the holistic growth of students. As someone once said, education is not the learning of facts but the training of the mind to think. Unfortunately, the hyper-competitive nature of many schools today often obstructs this vital aspect of education. Firstly, competition in schools fosters a cutthroat environment where students are constantly battling with each other, often at the expense of their well-being. In the words of Albert Einstein, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. When students are pressured to conform to a standardized measure of success, it fails to recognize and nurture their unique talents and potential. Moreover, the relentless focus on winning can lead to unethical behavior. In pursuit of victory, students may resort to cheating or other dishonest practices. As John F. Kennedy wisely said, "Victory has 1,000 fathers, while defeat is an orphan." This underscores the point that competition can encourage students to compromise their values just for the sake of achieving success. Furthermore, competition tends to overshadow the importance of holistic development. Students are so preoccupied with outperforming their peers that they often neglect their personal growth and character development. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. But you see, an education system overly fixated on competition often loses sight of this fundamental goal. Additionally, the pressure to excel in a competitive environment can take a severe toll on students' mental health. They constantly grapple with the fear of failure, leading to stress and anxiety. As Friedrich Nietzsche aptly noted, "Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you." Ladies and gentlemen, the relentless competition can turn students into anxious and stressed individuals, hampering their emotional and psychological well-being. In conclusion, competition in schools, while having some merits, can indeed hamper the holistic growth of students. It pressures them to conform to a standardized measure of success, encourages unethical behavior, overlooks personal development, and takes a toll on their mental health. As responsible educators and guardians of our future generation, we must prioritize the well-rounded growth of our students, nurturing not just their competitive spirit, but also their character, creativity, and well-being. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon SCS Herbertpur Tenzin Rexella.
Let me take an example of chess. In a game of chess, there are two players. They compete each other to become successful. So the one who fails, he knows how to play with others, so he can develop by themselves. So without having competition, how can we become successful and become mature?
Thank you for your question. You see, my argument wasn't about eliminating competition. We can have competition in schools, but it should not come at the expense of other vital aspects of a child's development, like emotional intelligence, social skills, and creativity. We can teach children about competition and how to handle it, without subjecting them too much in the school environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the next round, let me call upon Tenzin Siddhan of THS Gorimafi.
Good afternoon. My question is that in schools we have academic and co-curricular activities competition among houses. And if you are saying competition is not good, then why are our school heads and principals letting us compete against one another? Please explain.
Thank you for your question. Yes, or principal, or whatever you said, schools may be bringing competition to promote a student's holistic growth, but how is it going to promote it when schools are creating an environment where competition is the dominant factor? You see, an excessive focus on competition can lead to high levels of stress and anxiety in students, potentially hindering their overall well-being. You see, competition, instead of hampering a student's holistic growth, it should promote it, but instead it's taking away the joy of learning, leading to unhealthy pressure and blocking a student's interests. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin Nonzomla. The next speaker, we have Tenzin Siddhan from Gorimafi against the motion.
If you are a true warrior, competition doesn't scare you, it makes you better. By Andrew Whitworth. A very warm good afternoon to all the distinguished guest members, respective judges, staffs, my brothers and sisters, and my fellow contestants. I, Tenzin Siddhan of Tibetan Home School, Gurmafi, standing here today and grabbing this golden opportunity, would like to speak against the motion on today's topic, which states, competition in school hampers the holistic growth of students, with my strong rational points and facts so that I can cause a change of mindset in my opponents. Point number 1. Are we living in the age of some before Christ years or in 1500 AD or something? No. We are living in the world with its huge development in technology, industrialization, civilization, development in economic structure, infrastructures, living standards, etc. If you don't compete or there is no competition, then there is no way of upgrading your living standards, be it for getting a better job opportunity, getting promoted, and also improving your lifestyles. Remember, no competition, no progress. Point number 2. Competition creates discipline, and you might be wondering how it is so. Here, let me elaborate on it. In order to be better than oneself and to know you have progressed somehow, there should be always a base or a person with whom you can compare or indirectly compete with. Now, in order to be better than that person, I am sure you have to work on quite a lot and then excel yourself. For that, you need to make yourself punctual about learning more and making up a timetable to keep yourself not distracted from unwanted stuffs and excel better than your targets. Thus, it helps in making your mindset affirmed and makes you a disciplined one. Point number 3. In schools, there are some teachers who let us compete with one another, be it in the field of academic or in co-curricular activities. And there is no instant reward in competitive environment, but it will reward you in your future. And I am sure that because of this very fact, the word competition has become an eyesore in the public opinions. And to give you a better picture of it, let me walk you through this very incident that is happening now. When I was asked to take part in this debate and represent on my school's behalf, I felt afraid. I thought, oh no, will I be able to do it? Will I make a fool out of myself in this huge Sring Doma auditorium where there are hundreds of gatherings? But looking back at these last few weeks, while I was prepping up for this event, I've become more confident and my stage fear has definitely got submerged deep down somewhere. So, my dear opponent, competition is good and it will make you better, not worse. And if you wish to improve yourself and be a better version of yourselves, you need to compete. How long are we going to live under the cocoons of Tibetan societies? 1 year, 2 years, or even 5 years? But after that, we need to walk out in the other societies and set your futures. And if you are too fragile and soft and have never been trained in a competitive environment, you will not last for long there. Mind it. And last but not the least, may our precious gem and the leader of peace and spirituality, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, live a long and healthy life. May peace prevail everywhere and pray that we will get our beautiful motherland Tibet back from the red Chinese clutches, because the truth will always win at the end, no matter how many times life tried to overshadow it. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon THS Rajpur, Tenzin Wetenla.
Good afternoon. So my question for you is, if competition doesn't hamper the holistic growth of children, then why the Department of Education, CTA, has organized this meet as pure presentation rather than competition?
Thank you for your question. And my answer is that everyone has their own moral principles and their principle of thinking. And from the principle of the department, they are thinking that competition is not good. But from my opinion, I am saying that competition is good and it will make you better, not worse. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the next triple question, let me call upon Tenzin Ingsella from STS Harbarpur.
Good afternoon. So, my question for you is, because of intense competition, there are many cases like jealousy and sabotaging others. So, this leads to increased level of negative consequences such as stress, anxiety, and even a decline in performance. So, what will you say about it? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. And my answer is that it is not due to competition. It depends on the principle of the other people's thinking, and it is not because of competition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin Sidenla. Now, for the second last speaker, we have Tenzin Ingsella of STS Harbarpur speaking for the motion.
Good afternoon to distinguished guests, esteemed judges, fellow debaters, teachers, and students. It is with great pleasure and honor that I, Tenzin Ingsel, stand before you today as a representative of STS Harbarpur to participate in this prestigious Inter-School Literary and Cultural Meet 2023. I would like to extend my support for the motion that competition in school hampers the holistic growth of students. So let me begin. Competition in schools can indeed have a negative impact on the holistic growth of students. Excessive focus on competition can create an environment of stress, anxiety, and mental health issues among students. The pressure to outperform their peers can lead to a narrow mindset, focused solely on winning rather than personal growth and development. This can hinder students' ability to explore their own interests and passions, which impact their overall well-being and ability to develop other important life skills. Allow me to share some of the facts and data. According to the reports from the Economic Times, psychological concern in children are on the rise, especially behavioral issues and suicides due to intense competition in schools. 12% of Indian students between the age of 4 to 16 suffer from psychiatric disorder. 20% show signs like mental disorder, out of which 2 to 5% have serious concerns like bipolar disorder. Shockingly, every 1 hour a student commits suicide in India. Furthermore, intense competition fosters a toxic and cutthroat atmosphere where students may resort to unethical practices such as cheating or sabotaging others in order to gain an advantage. Competition tends to promote an individualistic mindset rather than promoting collaboration and teamwork. Students may become more focused on personal success rather than working together towards common goals. This undermines the development of crucial social skills such as empathy, cooperation, and teamwork. To ensure the holistic growth of students, it is important to strike a balance between healthy competition and fostering a supportive and inclusive learning environment. By introducing collaboration through group projects or team-based activities, fosters the interpersonal skills while still allowing for individual growth. Encouraging collaboration and cooperation alongside competition can help students develop a well-rounded set of skills and values. Moreover, when the emphasis is solely on winning or achieving top grades, students may prioritize rote memorization and short-term success over deep understanding and long-term learning. This approach limits to their ability to think critically, solve complex problems, and develop creativity. In conclusion, the kind of competition that we are engaged in nowadays can only build problems and alienate us from each other. If we want to create an environment that values collaboration, empathy, teamwork, critical thinking skills, and overall well-being, then it is high time for all of us to eliminate the evil practice of competition from the school environment. Thank you so much.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon TCV Selakuis Tenzin Gyundula.
So you're practically saying that competition is bad, right? So you're saying that big games like Olympics and Asian Games should be banned? Don't you know how much of a drastic change it would lead to the athletes' lives on the world, to the spectators, to the what do we say? Yes, fans of athlete. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, thank you for the question. First of all, in the mode of game, one will lose and one will win. That's the essence of game, right? So we should, while playing a game, we should not take it too seriously and enjoy the game. Thank you.
For the next round of rebuttal, let me call upon Tenzin Rikche of THS Dikaling.
Good afternoon, elder sister. Thank you for the wonderful speech. However, I'm sure your school do have sports. If yes, why do you think sports, a curriculum that requires competition in schools, is promoted as one other very important good factor in a good school?
Thank you for the question. I think my knowledgeable opponent had not listened the way I coded. I have already said that while playing a game or any sport, we don't have to take it too seriously, and hence competition only entertains the winner, not the loser, so losers will feel overwhelmed or discouraged by it. This can lead to negative consequences such as stress, anxiety, depression, and even a decline in performance. Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin Silla. Now for the last speaker, we have Tenzin Rikche of THS Dikaling speaking against the motion.
Tashidilik and a very cheerful good afternoon to the honorable juries, respected teachers, my fellow competitors, and all my brothers and sisters present here for the North Zone Inter-School English Debate. I, Tenzin Rikche, on behalf of the Tibetan Homeschool Digiling, stand before you today to firmly oppose the motion which suggests that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth of students. Competition Competition in schools is undeniably beneficial for the holistic development of our students. Throughout human history, competition has fueled progress, inspired greatness, and pushed individuals beyond their limits. I will provide a few examples to prove my points. First, competition in schools fosters an environment that encourages students to strive for excellence. How? When students are immersed in competitive atmosphere, they are naturally driven to achieve their personal best. Take the case of the renowned International Mathematical Olympiad, where students from all around the world compete for honors in solving complex mathematical problems. This competition not only sharpens their problem-solving skills, but also exposes them to innovative approaches employed by their peers. This culture of healthy competition propels students towards deeper knowledge acquisition, independent thinking, and the development of essential life skills. Second, competition itself is not new. It has been there from the very start. Let us take an inspiration from the Darwin theory of survival of the fittest, where it tells that individuals and species must compete for limited resources to ensure the survival and propagation. This concept applies not only to the natural world, but also to the realms of education and personal development. In the male reproductive system, millions of sperm compete fiercely to penetrate the egg and ensure successful fertilization. This competition is a natural selection process that favors the strongest and most capable sperm, resulting in the birth of a healthy offspring. Similarly, within the educational arena, competition fosters a natural selection process where students are pushed to demonstrate their abilities, develop essential skills, and ultimately succeed academically. Third, competition in schools teaches students the significance of resilience and perseverance. One striking example of this can be seen in sports. The journey of Michael Jordan is a testament to the power of competition. Jordan, as a high school player, faced numerous rejections before making it to the varsity team. Rather than succumbing to defeat, he used those setbacks as fuel to practice harder, to improve his skills, and to eventually become an icon in the world of basketball. Through competition, students learn that setbacks are opportunities for growth and that success is often built upon the foundation of failure. Fourth, competition itself is healthy. My fellow debater argues that competition leads to stress and anxiety, pressuring students to prioritize winning over the joy of learning. What I believe is that when people perceive competition in a negative way, they attempt to push others down in an effort to highlight their own achievements. This is not what you call competition. Competition should emphasize on personal growth, where they celebrate effort and nurture resilience, properly guided and supported by peers, friends, teacher, parent, and school. In conclusion, it would be an oversight to dismiss the overall positive impact it has on the holistic growth and development of individuals. I urge you to consider these points as we discuss this motion against the belief that competition in schools hampers the holistic growth. Therefore, let us embrace competition as an ally, not as a foe on the journey towards a brighter future. Thank you.
For the first round of rebuttal, let me call upon THS Masuris Tenzin Norzumla. Since this is the last round of rebuttal, you are requested to kindly maintain the decorum of the auditorium. Your murmurs have been disturbing our speakers. Kindly maintain the silence, please.
With the permission of the chairperson and the jury members. Hello, brother. My question to you is, in light of facts, it's clear that it's important to strike a balance between healthy competition and holistic growth. But how are we going to do it when schools are creating an environment where competition is the dominant factor? How are we going to do it when competition are making students have an excessive focus on it, leading to high levels of stress and anxiety in students, potentially hindering their overall well-being? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. The school can provide coaches, teachers who properly guide them. So this ensures that competition doesn't become a source of stress for any of the students. Thank you.
For the last round of rebuttal, let me call upon TCV Selaquis Yishi Chodula.
Firstly, I would like to thank you for the wonderful speech. And I would like to ask you that, is it possible to grow yourself or to obtain your goals through self-determination, discipline, motivation, or cooperation? I would like to hear the answer in yes or no and continue the half of my question.
Yes, this is true.
Then competition is not needed at all in schools.
It is needed. I have already mentioned it in my speech.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. With the completion of all the rebuttal session, we have come to the end of our English debate.
I would like to call upon Shri Anand Kanderi ji to please come on the stage and once again enlighten us with your kind words, as you have been doing with us for so many years with affection of familiarity and closeness. Sir, please.
The outset मुझे बुला लिया. Touch the way. My greetings to honorable dignitaries from Dharamsala and the officer of justice from Doon Valley. Beside the learned escorts from different schools of Sambota and Tibetan schools around Doon Valley, the learned Dr. Pasang Dundupla, the principal of CST earlier, now it is Sambota, my friend Thakchula, and all wonderful audience. The speakers, the participants here who have put their perfection over here today in this evening. The convener of the program, Ma'am Paljam and Sir, my greeting to you also, my greeting to all the teachers who have prepared all these students here for their wonderful preparation. They have been guided perfectly well. And I am very much surprised to see these are very young students. I don't know about their classes, but I expect that there are a variety of, very chunchure, class 6 or maybe 7 or 8 or some, not more than 9 and 10th. There is, differences there in their age group, I can recognize. And according to that, they have performed marvelously well. In fact, what I touched upon is the Department of Education, Dharamsala, has chosen the topic, such a wonderful topic. It's absolutely a debatable topic. Yes, the NEP you must be knowing, dear children, right? New education policy. It marginalized. It says that no, students should be not compared. Competition should be minimal. We should not make discrimination among students. Students have different qualities. Somebody is very good in sports. Somebody is very good in mathematics. Every individual is different here. So why not? They should be given equal importance. Why only marks? 99 is still the child is not satisfied. The child who gets 99, he aspires and he cries. The child says, I want 100. And the child goes to judiciary, file the case. Why not 100? So it has no limit, dear children. Right? His Holiness always says, if you influence only mind, if you only teach the children, if you are not able to win their hearts, if you are not able to teach their hearts, your education is useless. Really great thought. So one of the child says here, I don't know, must be THS, Gauri Mafi or someone. He says that I am very much confident today. I have a planning over here that I will be not afraid because I am not going to be marked there. Great thought. When you have a fear of getting marks for your any event, any examination, you have jealousy, you have hatred, you have pain, you have anxiety, and you cannot perform with your potential. And the small child is there, I noted his name, perhaps I can reveal it out. Must be Tenzin Satan Gauri Mafi. Who is that? He says that when I heard that there is no competition, I was confident by that time, right from that time. He is absolutely correct. If you are given that you will get, whoever get 90 marks, you will be awarded. There is hatred and jealousy and competition, and it makes it gives you nightmares, sleepless nights. Okay? Yes, but dear, in China the sports is going on. Do you know what is it? Asian Games. Asian Games are currently under performing by different competitors, and we always look at the results. Who wins? What our India is there? How many medals we get? So yes, competition cannot be denied, marks cannot be denied, awards cannot be denied, but it will take time. Yes, it will take time to abolish entirely awards or marks or competition. But it is very healthy that competition should be minimized. Absolutely, I support it. I'm always invited by THF. Most of the time I am very much part of every event here, and I feel highly grateful to the management, to the honorable principal, and the teaching faculty over here. They have faith on me that I can come and I can justify my role as a jury member here. I should once again congratulate all these young participants. If I should give few suggestions for these young participants, I say that I don't want to name the schools or participants here, but I think the debate and speech and delivery and elocution and all many ways of speech, everything has different criteria. Dear boys and girls, you have seen debate is held in the parliament, okay? And there is an order for every debate. The language of debate is different. The language of speech is always different. I have seen that some of the students, they were absolutely right in that way. They were addressing the chairperson to minimize the confrontation among the debater, for and against. There are chances that there may be confrontation, right? Therefore, whenever we are participating in debate, the chairperson should be addressed, then only the questions should be asked. Through chairperson, the questions should go. I have already spoken this in my previous being the jury members here. That time I also said. Anyway, the body language, eye contact, and your movement of the looking at the audience. The audience is the king for the speaker. If audience like you, you are winning. If the audience reject you, you are losing the game. The game of debate is, or the game of a speaker is, the audience are the judge. You have to make the audience very happy. You have to impress the audience. The audience should shake their heads in affirmation. I think these are few tips. When you are talking, dear, to your opponents, don't look at the eyes of opponents only, because the audience are neglected there, right? So see at the audience when you are answering your questions. These are few tips I can give you. Your teachers are highly learned teachers. They know better than me. Anyway, it is my duty to tell few things here because I have been asked to say something. Anyway, finally, once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the faculty members of English faculty of THF Mussoorie and Honorable Principal for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You're always best to us with your inspirational words. Thank you very much.
With the due time restraint, now I would like to call upon respected Principal Dr. Pasantudubla to kindly hand out the souvenirs to our respected judges. And finally, I would like to starting from my right, TCV Selugui, Tenzin Gyundula, and Ishi Chudula.
God's great big family.
THS Rajpur, Tenzin Shizumla, and Tenzin Wedemla. STS Mussoorie, Tawasingla, and Tenzin Sebula. THF Masuri, Tenzin Norzumla, and Bema Tenzila.
Send them your heart so they know that someone cares and their lives will be stronger and free.
Following THF Gori Mafi, Tenzin Sidela, and Snom Hamola.
And so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the one.
From STS Haripurpur, Tenzin Rixella and Tenzin Ingsella. Finally, last but not least, THS Digaling, Tenzin Richela and Snong Hamola.
But if you just believe, there's nowhere we can fall. When we stand together as one. We are the children. We are the ones who make a better day. So let's start giving.
Thank you so much, sir. Our family is grateful to have such distinguished judges for this important DOE academic event. We thank you. Now we will proceed for the tea break that is scheduled to be till 3:50.